Take the meeting to order, kids. Okay, this is a special meeting today to discuss the 2026 budget, the 27th pay issue that we started with at the last meeting and couldn't finalize. So we're going to begin. Greg, I didn't know you were going to be here. So.
Oh, yeah, they all asked me to be here. Jim and Keely, after they called me.
Right. As I told Keely, I think calling you into a meeting, having to pay you for a meeting, that they should run it by me first, just to make sure that we had the funding and the ability to do these things.
Super.
Okay? Thank you. All right, I'll let you go first. It sounds like you did some kind of prep work for Jim and Keely.
Yeah, well, for the county as a whole, yeah. So what I've got, I sent out this example, okay, or I handed it out, and you should have it in front of you.
No.
Did you pass
It's
it?
right here, pass it down.
Oh,
Oh, stuck at
there
Keely.
you go. Oh, wait.
I
Here's
got
another.
mine.
She's hiding.
There's two different ones, or it's the same
No,
thing?
it's all the same one. They're stuck together.
Whoops, I did it backwards.
Craig, you sent that to us in Excel this morning about 11 today, right?
Correct.
That's the
I
one,
sent
okay.
it to you as an Excel,
Two different
yeah,
ones.
in case you wanted to plug something in.
Well, we did, we plugged them in, and
Yeah.
Sherry's got some of those plugged in already.
Okay, so this is an example, a live example of another county. And 2025, if you see, I've taken actually 4 different classifications. And I said, what we normally do in order to do 27 pays is we take the salary, and I said 25. The actual example I used, or the actual was 24, but I used 25 here. You divide by 2,080 hours, which is the standard 40 times 52 weeks, gets you $38.841. If we don't apply an increase in 2026, we would have 2,160 hours. We would take the 38,841, which is being paid in 25, times 2,160, and the basic salary, total salary, would be $83,897. So that would be the 3.85% that we ran for everybody and showed before in other versions in total. Then in 27, I just said, okay, what happens if we have a 3% increase? We go back to the 25 rate of pay, which is 38.841, row 1. We multiply that times 3%. We get a hourly amount of $40.007. Multiply that times 2,080. The salary would be $83,213. So as you can see, it's higher than the 25 number. It is lower than the 26 numbers, but that's sheer fact that 27 pays took place. So this is, you could in the area where it says no increase, obviously if you said no, we wanted some kind of increase in there, you'd put that in and then do your calculations. But this is how we've kind of addressed it at this point in time, assuming we are just funding the 27 pays in 26.
Gotcha.
So,
But you're suggesting basically that equates to undoing the 3% raise, keeping the paychecks the same, and the raise is the 27th, getting the 27th paycheck.
correct.
So there is no,
Yeah, I like to say on an hourly basis, there's no raise in the hourly basis, but because you get 2,060 hours, your check is higher by 83,000. It goes up to 83,897. So I think we're saying exactly the same thing.
So here's a question for you. When we call it yearly salary. We look at yearly salary. We don't look at like each paycheck. We don't talk about W-4s, all these things. We don't get into all the micro details. We talk about yearly salary. Is a yearly salary, when we do it at a government level across all of Indiana, is it based on the days, 365.24 days a year, or is it based on the hours?
I believe it's based upon the hours, and that's how, this is, again, a live example, and I don't, you got Hendricks County. This is actual example of how we've done 27 pays, period.
But that
Based upon hours.
it would mean that we're reneging on the whole department head discretion thing, and that everyone is getting their raise next year is equal to one extra paycheck, or what that was in 2025.
This scenario,
In that option, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a scenario.
That's one scenario.
That's one scenario.
right. But I just wanted you to see the 2080 and the 2160, creating it in an hourly rate gets it to the utmost decimal place. So there's no, and then we convert it into an annual salary. And then starting in 27, we're back on course for another 6 or 7 years.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Greg?
But under that scenario, in 27, the salaries have gone up by the 27th pay, right? That's what-
No, sir.
No.
If you looked at this calculation,
Okay.
what I said was in 27, you use the hourly rate in 25 of 38.841. You increase that by 3% for the 27 pays. You then basically multiply that times 2080 and you get the 83,000. So you are basing it on the hourly rate in 25, if that's what you choose.
So if we go with an alternative scenario, that is where we go ahead with the raises that we have contemplated, plus the 27th pay, and we say, for example, we're not going to give any raises in 27, does the base pay then for 27 get elevated by the 27 pay in 26?
So here's the way I would explain it. In 25, we would take that 80,790 and we would basically escalate that. Divide it by the 2,080 hours. So do the increase. Okay? Divide by 2,080 hours and then multiply that times 2160. In 27, you'd still use 2080 hours. So there would be that increase, but the 27 wouldn't continue on. Are you with me?
And for the 27.
We don't know,
Pay not to continue as part of the salary in 2027, we would need to change the way we do our salary ordinance to only state a biweekly pay and not a biweekly and annual.
Well, I'm almost, most people I've seen are doing it hourly, and it can easily be done hourly, or I think biweekly would work the same. I've always done it on an hourly basis.
Hendricks County is doing it hourly and
okay.
biweekly also, I think.
Yeah, I've seen hourly, biweekly, and annual. I've seen
And
ordinances.
we do biweekly and annually.
Yeah.
But I don't think we want to continue to include annually.
Yeah, and the answer is you can modify your salary ordinance. You modify that each and every year. And, I don't know how detailed Hendricks is, but this one, they put a chart attached to the salary ordinance. And so it's got everybody in there. And by the way, the departments down there were like a clerk and auditor and that. So that's why I put those down there. And you can see that would increase too. But you could do what you said first before you do the calculation. You could modify the 25 pay for, let's say you wanted to give someone 5,000, department head 1, you wanted to give them 5,000 more, you'd adjust that on the 25, then you would do the calculation and then it would work through. And that's how, and I've seen that done too, so.
Greg, I appreciate your work on this. I know nobody expected me to be quiet today. I do want to appreciate everybody coming back for another meeting because it did take me another day to process what was happening so I could make some intelligent decisions. I am not for reneging on something. I'm not for punishing anybody because our calendar system is all screwed up because the earth rotates at a different, it doesn't rotate at a perfect speed around the sun, okay? So I'm going to simplify it for me because I do have like 25 families that rely on me every week for money. So you work 40 hours, you get paid 40 hours, okay? There's no way of stopping that. You stop that, you might as well just shut everything else down, okay? We do have the money. We've been planning for this for the whole time I've been here. We have $7 million sitting in a rainy day fund that we will never use. Never. It'll never be a rainy day. I lived through COVID for 4 years, the worst possible pandemic the world has ever had. We didn't spend a penny. We didn't use it once. If COVID killed millions of people, shut the government down, shut the world down, and we still didn't have to use our money, then short of a nuclear bomb dropping in the United States, we're not going to ever use that money, okay? And if a nuclear bomb drops in the cities in the United States, money ain't going to be the issue. So simplistic for me, we pay it. It's not our fault. It's not their fault. I'm not going to punish the employees because the last Friday of the year, every 11 years, it ends up a payday on that. No reason. They still work the week. Nobody goes home. Nobody gets shorted. And I'm not going to short them their raise. And we take it take it out of general fund because we have a big general fund balance. And then if we get problems and we need to back something up, we back it up with the rainy day. And then we turn around and pay it back if we want to over the next few years. I don't foresee a point we'll ever use any of that money. And this, to me, is the only thing that I think even anybody else would ever agree to me is a rainy day.
What are you saying happens then going from 26 to 27? Because I can be on board. I don't want to renege on anything we already said either. I think it's going to create a disaster and a mess. And I don't want paychecks to go down either. So I think we're all on the same page there. But what I don't want is to give with a raise, give the 27th pay, which after FICA, perf, and work comp is almost $1 million, and then just next year add on top of that again. I mean, for me, it would have to be contingent upon we are giving you twice the raise we said we were going to this year. So next year, we won't be.
How are we giving them a
raises.
raise twice the amount that we
Well,
said?
Because it's based on a yearly salary. I think that's the issue for me is, that's why I asked the hourly question to him. I think it's very important to have him here. So I think it was great to have him here because that was my question. Are we pay him on days? We pay him on, do we pay, because here's the thing, it's a yearly salary. That's how, everything I looked at was yearly salary. It sounds like we need to get rid of the yearly salary going forward and move it to either biweekly pay or hourly pay for every employee.
Agreed.
So that we don't have an issue like this, that we don't look at the yearly salary. Because when you look at a yearly salary, to me, that's January 1, December 31st. It doesn't matter if you get paid 23 times, 24, 26, 27, 52, 53. It doesn't matter how often you get paid. You get that yearly salary. Okay, that's what a yearly salary is. That's the economic fundamentals, it's basic financial, information. That's what a yearly salary means. But if we're not doing yearly salary, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem paying people. I agree with what Kent's saying. I appreciate what Kent's saying. I don't disagree with him because most people are paid hourly in society. And most people, even when you pay salary, a lot of times you convert it to an hourly pay, and then that's how you pay the salary.
Yeah, on the 144, it has a line for biweekly salary. So they're already alerted as to what their biweekly salary is going to be for the entire year. And that's based on what we approved as an annual amount. What we didn't do is foresee the fact that we had the 27th pay to divide that payout differently or discuss it and change it at that time. So I look at this year as being the year that we can make some adjustments and correct any wording that we need to on hourly, weekly, biweekly, annual. We can work that out so this doesn't happen again for the next council that will be in place in 7 years or so. But what I feel like today is we need to talk about today. And today is
The what ifs that everybody's talking about is almost 2 years away.
right.
Because you're talking about 2027, and today is August of 2025, okay? So we're trying to set in motion what'll happen on that specific day, and if they pay that or not. And you know, I'm hoping that we say, yeah, you paid that. Now, if we get excess levies, if the pennies from heaven are this and that, and we don't know how much of that money that we have to pay for that pay in 2027, we're going to have to make up. We don't know. We won't know. That's 16 months away, okay? So for us to speculate and say, oh, we're not going to, then we're going to punish everybody in 2027, I'm not for that either. I mean, we might have to take some of their raise and not give them as much a raise to make up for something, but we don't know yet if it's going to hurt us or not. Okay, we know that the money's got to come from somewhere. What I'm saying is, we take it out of general fund, but what I'm saying is, we have the money. Even if we lose that $1 million out of rainy day, we have it. We put it back. I've been planning for this for 12 years.
Robin?
You can't say we're not
Yes,
planning for
I
it.
do. I'm looking at this a little different, and I appreciate Greg's financial. We asked him to give us financial advice, which he has done. But I see this as two parts. It's also about our personnel. You know, we have the last couple of years, we have, or I don't know if it's been 2 or 3, we have asked them not to add staff. So we asked them to do more with less. And now, and people look at their paychecks. That's what they live on. And if we don't fully fund the 27th pay, and you have to remember, there's also going to be an increase in the insurance. So definitely, some of the people will have lower checks or at least the same as 25. And I do not like doing that to our personnel because they've done what we've asked. They've done with less employees. Everybody's taken on extra things, and now we're going to put them so that some of them, so many of them live check to check. It doesn't help that they get a check at the end of the year or not for the 27th pay. They need to have that in every single check divided up. And that's kind of the issue that I'm looking at. And I even thought maybe we could take half out of rainy day and half out of general funds, whatever. But I just think it's not right to do our employees that way. They're our biggest asset.
If we want to solve this, or try to solve it, we tried to solve it 10 years ago. We backed the pay up and everything. Robin was the auditor. We thought we had it solved. Okay, if we want to try to solve it again, I'm all for that. And if we want to try to change salary employees, what that is and all that kind of stuff going forward, that's fine.
We can do that during our budget meeting
We're going to have somebody talk about that. We're going to have more discussion about that and things like that. But that's fine if we think we can figure out a way to solve it so that in 10 years it doesn't happen to us again. But for today, I'll make a motion that we pay the 27th pay, we take it out of general fund and we back it up with the rainy day if we have to.
I'll second it.
One item of
Okay.
discussion, does that include? No, when,
Go ahead.
after a second, you get to have
Would
discussion.
you let me ask for it first?
Sure, go for it, Mary.
Thank you.
I have a question
Thank you,
on
Yeah.
Keely.
That's fine.
Is there anybody that has anything?
I have a legit, real important
Okay,
question on
and
this,
I'm gonna
but I'll
ask-
I can let her ask her question first.
I'm going to let everyone have an opportunity to ask any questions that they may have, and then we'll vote. Jim, do you have any questions?
Repeat the motion. Okay, the motion was that we pay the 27th pay in December 31st or whatever of 2026, okay? And that we take the money out of general fund, okay? And if general fund has an issue and we can't take it out of general fund at that time, then we use rainy day to back up general fund on up to the amount that would be. But I'm not sure how much we have to take out because it's 2 years away to support that. Just the motion.
Just the motion.
But
Let's
that's my motion. And then that covers, and she has the money and everybody, and then we go down the road.
Keely?
What's the motion again? That's too late.
The motion
I don't have
is
time for
that
this.
the 27th pay will be funded for the 2026 budget through the general fund with the rainy day fund being a backup if needed.
Yeah, so we're fully funding the
So we're fully
27th
funding
pay.
it.
Right.
Is that including the 3% raises that you've already?
Yes.
Yes,
would-
yeah, everybody, I'm not changing the raises
gonna
that
be
we've
mine.
already done in the budget.
Yeah. This
Could-
is
could
just
I amend my
about the
motion?
27th pay.
So I don't know if you really want it to read like that
Okay.
because each department, Kent, will get their 27 pays
Okay.
charged to them. So we wouldn't want to take the highway out of the general. We wouldn't want to take the public safety out of general. We'll have it stay in the fund that it's being paid from.
Okay,
Okay, and we won't need to back it up from the rainy day fund.
Okay.
And you wouldn't, so you would want the motion to be that you would pay, and the 27 pays will be next year, right?
right, 2026.
So- Yeah, so we'll be
The
paying
end
it
of
next
2026.
year, throughout the year. So you want to say, and to have it come from the appropriate funds, including the general fund.
Okay, so my motion amended says that we will pay for the 27th pay. It will come from, it'll come out of general fund and the appropriate funds that's needed. And then if we get in trouble later on, we do have a rainy day
So
fund.
my
leave that out of the
question is,
motion.
what are we doing with the rest of the budget for 26?
Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing. We're not changing
Okay, so it
26's
stays
budget.
the way it
It
is.
stays the way it is.
Ely?
And my clarifying question on that is I could be on board with that if it includes that we are no longer stating salaries annualized and that they will only be biweekly. Because by the nature of that, that means in 2027, that
And
last
we
check will
agreed
fall
that we're
off.
going to discuss that before the
Yeah,
next.
I'm not putting that into my motion
We're
yet
not-
because I think we
It's not
ought
part of the
to,
motion
It
now.
is,
then it, I'm not putting that in my motion yet.
We're already making changes for the
Yeah,
salary
it's-
ordinance next
yeah.
year.
I'm not in disagreement with you, but I'm not putting that in this
Right,
motion.
okay, we don't disagree with that idea, it's just it doesn't need to be part of the motion.
well, it's whether or not I vote yes or no has to do with whether or not the amount of that 27th paycheck is gonna happen again in 2027.
I understand, and we have 7 votes, so.
Okay, Robin, any questions?
No.
Scott?
Yeah, I do. My question is, and I don't know if anybody here can answer, it might be a lawyer question, actually. There are certain people, the judges, sheriff, prosecutors, public defender, the head people, that are set by state. How does that gonna work? And I think some are actually paid by the state. How does that work in this whole thing for that 27th
I think
pay?
girls might know, because they looked it up.
I believe what we've seen is it not change
I don't think it
in the salary ordinances that
We're not
we
changing
have
it.
been part of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they don't get that extra bump raise that this is essentially doing for, when you look yearly.
I don't think so.
There are times that we've
paid
paid
by
them
the
more than
state.
what the state has said, and there's been times that we've said, they've said, no, we're where the state wants us to be, and you guys haven't, so.
Either of you guys know what I'm talking about?
What was the question, Scott?
The question, Brent, is, I think you're paid by the state as the prosecutor.
Yeah, they both are.
How are they handling the 27th pay for you guys at the state level?
Think about it.
Okay,
So he's
that's
gonna,
my question. My question to us is,
he's
does this
gonna get a
include-
paycheck.
So
They're
he'll
not
get-
gonna short him.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Tammy?
So-
Tammy?
I'm
Tammy?
still not clear.
I don't have any questions, just a statement of our employees work, they deserve to get paid, they expect to get paid, and we are the fiscal body for this county, and it is our responsibility to pay them for that work. We need to keep the 3% raise that we have already committed and move forward with 27th pay. And I don't care where it comes from. They work, they deserve to get paid.
You have one more question?
Deb was alluding that it's already been decided that we will change the salary ordinance to biweekly. Did I understand that right?
I'm not alluding, that's a responsibility of the auditor's office, and we've already started doing that for next year's salary ordinance, so you don't have to, I was just saying, hey, you don't have to worry about it, so.
Because that answers a question of whether or not $1 million rolls into 2020.
we're changing the salary ordinance based, whatever is done today will be bi-weekly on our salary ordinance.
Perfect.
And I might suggest that you look at the hourly. But so subject, you know, you can say, no, that's fine. I'm going to tell you that I've seen that a lot of times.
No, we've been going all over the place trying to figure out
Sure.
the best route to handle it, and we're.
But annualized won't be the number.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. We have a second.
Well,
I'm going to call for a roll from Deborah. So, Deb?
Okay, roll call. Jim Shelby.
Well, as long as we're changing the salary ordinance to not show it as salaried, I'll vote yes.
Same position. If it's bi-weekly, then yes.
Oh, I guess I didn't.
She didn't call me?
Yeah, she
Oh,
didn't.
I'm sorry. You Keely. You said yes, right, Keely? And then Robin louder.
Yes.
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 Scott?
I appreciate having him here today, I want to say, because it definitely changed my mind. I wish you'd have been here last week, because we got to do it based on hours, so yes.
And
Yes.
No, I know, I'm.
But it's
I
about,
know.
it's about understanding it. This is why so many times something comes up and we have to have a discussion. We got to think about it. We got to call each other,
Yeah.
individually,
I
just
agree
talk
with
about
that.
it and
I agree
then
with
bring in
that.
an expert and say,
Yes.
hey, we're having problems.
But we
And
do
that's
need to
something we should have
fix.
discussed as a,
We do need to tweak the system between now and the next time it happens.
Yep, but not today.
Yes.
And not, but we do need to tweak. And I'm agreeing
Can
with
we
you.
adjourn?
Second.
sorry.
But before we adjourn, I know Scott's not here. At our next meeting, we need to get on I know you can't do it today, but we need to do something for Judge Davis. The council needs to do something for Judge Davis. He has what is, I forget the word.
Jury pay or?
No, it pertains to the juvenile magistrate.
Oh.
We need to sign off. There's a declaration that we need to sign off on and vote on, that the commissioners have already done.
well,
Okay.
So I'll
just
get it
put it
on
on
the
the next
calendar.
agenda.
I'll get it on the agenda for
All
next
right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.